So I wanted to respond to an idea. Because over the past few days, we have seen a bunch of people on social media, in particular Twitter. I've seen a lot of people posting their tier lists and predictions and rankings and stuff, and it's been a pretty common theme amongst NHL posters and people that create stuff for hockey Twitter and hockey Instagram and whatnot, for people to post their lists of whom they think are going to be cup contenders in 2024-2025. In particular, I've been seeing a lot of people using the tier list to determine whom it is will be competitive, and I don't have any specific examples at hand right now. This is just kind of an idea I've been seeing in passing a lot. If you go onto Twitter, you just scroll around, you'll probably see some of these on your For You page once in a while, but I have seen a bigger influx of people that are around the NHL world, including my Vancouver Canucks on their list of potential cup contenders. And the first time I saw somebody include the Vancouver Canucks in their top tier list, I was like, okay, it's good to see somebody believing in the Vancouver Canucks. I had to check the Twitter account, see if they were a Canucks fan. I don't think they were. And it was the first time that I was like, okay, that's kind of great that somebody that's not in this fan base actually believes in the team, maybe even more than Canucks fans do. And then I started to see it pop around more. And then I got recommended more tier lists, and I saw other people also putting the Vancouver Canucks either in their top category of cup contenders or in the second top category of legitimate teams to take seriously. And it started piling up, and I was like, wait a minute. Are the Vancouver Canucks actually cup contenders this upcoming year? And lo and behold, whilst I was in the midst of debating this, I saw this tweet made by Liam at MillerTheGoat9 from earlier yesterday. This had 62,000 views, 140 replies, 300 likes, and a whole bunch of people responding to it. I'd really like to know why people think the Vancouver Canucks have no chance of being a cup contender next year. They had the best third line in the NHL last year. They have a 40-goal scorer and a 100-point player, Petey, who is bound to bounce back, a Norris-winning defender, a top-3 goalie tandem in the NHL, some of the best depth in the league, and 10 players on their roster that can easily score 20 goals. Yes, they need a bit of work on D, but if anyone knows Alvin and Rutherford, they're going to get that taken care of rather quickly. Included is the Canucks Daily Faceoff page, and I just wanted to label it out right here. Okay, who are the 20 goal scorers that the Vancouver Canucks have? This poster said they have 10 that can easily score 20. I'd say Höglander, Miller, Besser could definitely score 20. Jake DeBrusk and Petey, I'd say, can easily score 20. That's 5. If you wanted to say it's easy for a guy like Dakota Joshua or Connor Garland to score 20, I don't know if it'd be easily, but I could see it happening. Same thing for Daniel Sprong, that's like 3 maybes. Danton Heinen, I'd think, is more of a 15-goal player, especially if he's on the 4th line. P.S. Suter, I think, could maybe try to challenge for it. And then if you wanted to go on defense, if Quinn Hughes starts scoring a lot more goals than OK. Honestly, I don't know if the Vancouver Canucks have 10 players on their forward core that can easily score 20 goals. There are a bunch that could, but I don't know if it's easily. That's not to discredit the Vancouver Canucks, though. As we've been talking about, their forward core is a lot deeper than it was last year. At this point last year, with the roster that they had, with guys like Nils Åman and Phil DiGiuseppe and Kuzmenko, other players rotating around there, they did improve the forward core significantly. And the defense, while you could say it's a little bit lax compared to what they had last season, there still is reason to believe in the progression of guys like Hronek and Hughes, and hope that guys like Myers, Soucy, etc. are able to stabilize their game and continue just being as effective as they had been. Goaltending as well, Thatcher Demko is one of the best goalies in the NHL when he's healthy, of course, and Artur Silovs is also no slouch. The Vancouver Canucks have a great team on paper. It is just kind of, I don't know, maybe like a shock to me to see people consistently talking about this bubble conversation on if the Canucks should be considered a playoff contender, or not even a playoff contender, a cup contender. I'll put it like this. If the Vancouver Canucks win the Stanley Cup in 2025, will I be surprised? Of course I'll be surprised. My favorite team wins the cup. But would I say it's unlikely? I don't know. And I think the fact that I'm saying I don't know and not no straight up indicates the level of growth that the team has gone through that puts them in this spot to be competitive. I'll say it like this, because of the 2024 season, because of how good the Canucks were there, they won the division, they were super great, they had a 40-goal score, a 100-point score, an 89-point score that was really disappointing in Elias Pettersson. He could still be better. Quinn Hughes won the Norris. There's a lot going good for the Vancouver Canucks after 2024. So, obviously, there would be a much higher level of expectation heading into this upcoming season, and with the fact that the team is better up front and forwards, you could say that it's definitely possible that they do end up in that cup contention conversation. Maybe I'd say they're another defenseman away, maybe a middle to bottom pairing defenseman away from being a legitimate Stanley Cup contender, and of course they have to be healthy. I'm gonna knock on wood as much as I can in this video, or at least in this part of the video, because the Canucks injury bug has been on and off the past few years. I feel like it was the worst when I was in high school, like that 2016, 2017, 2018 ending off-ish era. That's when the injury bug was maybe at its worst, and then you had yourselves the sort of relaxed state a little bit. They were okay into the bubble playoffs. Tyler Toffoli was out for a while, but that was about it. And then in the 2021 shortened season, that was when the whole team was sick with the corona, and that was really bad. Eventually give it some time and the team stabilizes out. There are some injuries here and there. In fact, there still are, really. Like, Tucker Poolman is still not an option for Vancouver. But other than that, if the Canucks are able to get 82 games out of the majority of their roster, they should be good. They should be top 2 in their division. They should be maybe contending for a second-round spot. They should be maybe even forcing a third-round berth. Patrick Allvin and Rutherford were disappointed with the fact that the Canucks were eliminated in Game 7 of the second round after having a 3-2 series lead against the Oilers. Allvin made it very well apparent in the postseason press conference. I did not expect to be here today talking to you at this point in the playoffs. The fact that we only made the second round, that was a result to build upon. And man, isn't it just so nice seeing our favorite hockey team being run by a guy who just knows what it takes to win? Jim Benning, of course, had himself a Stanley Cup as the executive assistant GM of the Boston Bruins in 2011, but Allvin and Rutherford were a part of multiple Stanley Cup winning Pittsburgh teams, and you could definitely see that experience bleeding into the way that they make decisions and the way they talk about their expectations. So, Patrick Allvin and Rutherford, I mean, they've got a lot of opportunities here to make things right. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks and whether or not they actually are a cup contender for 2024-2025. Do you agree with a bunch of the tier lists that I'm seeing made by fans, made by different people all over social media saying that Vancouver deserves a spot in the top of the league conversation? Do you think it's too good to be true? Or do you think it's just reality? Am I just kind of jaded from years and years of being a disappointed Canucks fan to acknowledge that they are this good right now? And furthermore, I wanted to bring up or end off this video on the 20-goal conversation. This poster on Twitter said the Canucks have 10 easy 20-goal scores. I'm saying there are 5 easy 20-goal scores, and maybe like 3 or 4 more that could get to 20 if they really had a good season. Am I just being a little conservative, or am I scared? Is it really that Daniel Sprong and Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland have an easy shot at 20 goals? Let me know your thoughts in the comments whom the 20-goal scorers on the Vancouver Canucks will be, and whether or not there are 10 of them that are easy. That's the word that I keep on referring to. Easy. Is it going to be easy for them to get 20? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.